Initially, I started doing a course at university in nuclear medicine, which is diagnostic work. And I didn't find any fulfillment, or I didn't find it very rewarding. And I felt that I wanted to go into something that I would find rewarding. And I chose to do remedial massage. That's where my journey began. And once I finished the course and started working with clients one-on-one, I noticed that people would come in with a headache or a migraine or some sort of a pain. After I would do the work on them, they would leave without the pain, but I found that I started carrying their headaches or the migraines, and I couldn't understand what was going on. And fortunately, I met a man who did muscle therapy work and had a conversation with him about what could possibly be happening in that time, where the client leaves without the headache and I, as the practitioner, have the headache. So that's when I first started experiencing transference of energy, and I became very, very interested in how that works. So with that experience, I knew that energy can be transferred from my hands to the client or the patient, and vice versa. So I had to learn to protect myself, which I did. But then I became a lot more interested in the energy work, and that's where my journey began, learning Reiki Healing, and just exploring all aspects of energy work. The raw energy healing, or it's the shortened word raw, means rekindled ancient wisdom, is a multifaceted, multidimensional energy balancing system. So what's involved is you're creating a healing pathway and removing blocks and programs within your system so that you can evolve and become a lot more self-empowered. Basically, with the rekindled ancient wisdom, we can work with the person face to face. I could work on myself, or I can also work on a person remotely by bringing their energies in and doing the balance on the energies. A rekindle ancient wisdom balance involves somebody coming to you with some sort of an issue, whether it's fear or it's some sort of trauma, the person experienced a long time ago or recently. It could be anything, such as they want to have more self-love or self-worth. It could be somebody coming in that's just started a new business and they want a balance done on the business or money, or just so that there's potential growth for the business. Anything, you can work on any sort of issue. And then basically we're using a whole lot of scan lists from 11 levels of raw and opening up the parts of the being, which there are 12 with every person, or any energies that we're working on. And we're accessing information and programs, identifying programs that are keeping us stuck and not moving forward, and replacing those old programs with a new program through affirmation correcting. We also do house, land and property balances. You move into a new home. There were other people living there previously. You don't know what sort of emotional baggage they've brought into the house, and the previous owners to that. There could be entities or low vibrational energies that are residing within the space. You want to clear all that. You want to balance it so that you can live in a place that is free from other people's baggage, and you have harmony and peace in your home. For instance, where I'm living right now, I've been here for over a year. And when we first moved in here, I had a nasty experience with a very, very dark energy that was here. I actually physically saw it leaving, but it came back in. Now, the problem was that this energy was interfering whilst I was sleeping, and that's when I realised I've been here for 2 weeks and I haven't done a balance on the place. So that should have been a priority when I first moved in. But however, I did the balance 2 weeks later and everything just settled down. Everything was nice and calm and peaceful here. I could sleep a lot better. I have never seen this dark energy again. I can give you an idea about my own personal experience. I first had rekindled ancient wisdom balance back in 1999. I went and saw a lady called Rhonda Graham. My issue was trauma, very, very heavy trauma that I'd experienced during my childhood. And the memories of that trauma started to surface and started affecting my life. And I went and saw Rhonda, and I had one balance session with her, and I felt the most amazing shift within myself, and was no longer reacting to the memory of the trauma any longer. So that was back in 1999, and I was just so amazed with the result that I decided that I was going to learn how to do these raw balances. And so I started learning raw back in 2001, and I did the first 2 levels, and then life got in the way. I had children and I was quite busy, so I didn't get back to learning it until last year, and I finally finished all 12 levels. I was just absolutely amazed and inspired about how something like this could change my life, and I wanted to learn it for myself, to continue my own self-healing path, but also to share it with other people, because there's just so much trauma in the world. Bowen Therapy is a therapy that was created by a man named Tom Bowen, who was an Australian from Victoria. Bowen Therapy is a neurostructural integration technique that involves working on the body and activating messages to the brain and allowing the brain to identify what the problem is, whether it's a tight muscle or a shortened muscle. And then what happens is the brain sends the information and directs the problem to start repairing or realigning. So basically, it's the body that starts to realign and go into equilibrium. I've been doing Bowen Therapy since 2004, and I've seen so many different people with different medical conditions, structural problems, physiological problems. I've got a really, really great story about one client that used to come and see me. He was actually a client that wanted to have remedial massage done. We did a few sessions, 3-4 sessions, and he was finding he was not getting the relief that he was expecting. And what I ended up suggesting was, why don't you try something different? And that's when I offered to do the Bowen Therapy. And he was quite hesitant at the time, because he just wanted to have a massage. And I just wasn't happy taking his money knowing that there wasn't much progress. Now, what he was coming to see me for was lower back trouble, which he'd had for many, many, many years, having worked as a gynecologist, so a lot of heavy lifting. And then obviously, functional problems, not sitting correctly or not doing any stretches, things like that. Anyway, so in the end, he decided he was going to give the Bowen Therapy a go. And I said, normally you need about 3 sessions, weekly sessions. But I said, look, give it a go, have a second treatment, and if you don't feel that you're getting any results, then you don't need to continue. I would just like you to give it a go and see how it works for you. So anyway, with this first session, I did the moves on the body, and there's a process time. So I do the moves and I walk away for a couple of minutes, and then I come back and I do some more moves and then I walk away. This is the time where the brain and the body are processing the information. So we're allowing this to happen. So I walked away and I could feel something going on with his kidneys. Now, when I say I could feel, I do have a sense of being able to feel what's going on in somebody's body. And I felt that there's something going on with the kidneys. And I said to him, have you had any trouble with kidney stones, any problems like that? And he said, no. Okay, so I trusted my intuition and I did the required processes, Bowen Therapy processes for lower back problems, but I also did the kidney procedure. And I also asked him to drink celery and beetroot juice for the rest of the week until he sees me the second time. So he came back for the second treatment 7 days later, and I asked him, how are you feeling? And he said, no, I'm not experiencing the results that I want to experience. And I said, well, did you have any days that you were pain-free? And he said, yes. And I said, for how long? And he said, for 3 days I didn't have any pain. And I said, fantastic. You only had 1 day pain-free when you had the massage. This time you've had 3 days pain-free. So today we're going to do a second treatment. And I went on and did the treatment for him and asked him to continue drinking the beetroot juice and the celery juice. And I said to him, look, if you feel that this is working for you, I would suggest you come back and have the third treatment. But if you don't want to, you don't have to come back. Anyway, he didn't come back. So I thought, he doesn't like it, or, you know, people are a bit funny sometimes. But I thought, I trust that this is working. And I bumped into him probably a few months later after that treatment. I actually went to his house to do a treatment for his wife. And he came up to me and he said, you know that stuff that you did on me? I said, oh, are you talking about the Bowen Therapy? And he said, yeah. I said, oh, what about it? And he said, it actually works. And I said, oh, really? So what happened? He said, well, after the second treatment, my lower back pain became worse, like twice as bad. And he said, when he went to the toilet, there was blood in the toilet. So he went to the doctor. And the doctor said to him, I think you may have kidney stones. So he went home after the doctor's visit. He went to the toilet and saw all the stones come out in little pieces, and then the lower back pain was gone. And to top that off, his wife, who I went to do a treatment for that particular day when he told me about the results, was infertile and was told by the medical profession that she could not have children because she only had 1 or 2 menstrual cycles per year. Well, surely enough, she fell pregnant after that treatment. So they're just two of the amazing stories that I can share. With myself personally, I used to play a lot of volleyball, and I played in a tournament one weekend, and the following day I couldn't walk. I had a lot of trouble with my knee, and the calf muscle was all stiff, and I was having a lot of massage treatment. I was stretching. I was doing everything that I possibly could to relieve the pain and improve the problem, but nothing was helping. And one particular lady said, "Have you tried Bowen Therapy?" And I said, "No, I haven't." She said, "Well, here's a number for a lady. Give her a call and go and see her." When I got off the table after my first session, I started crying, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm crying from joy because I don't have pain anymore. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I've never experienced anything like this before." And so from that, it became my mission to learn this technique and to share it. And I've I've had so many happy clients in the past that used to have massage therapy or other treatments and only started having Bowen Therapy because of the results that you get. So yeah, I'm just so happy that I got to experience the Bowen Therapy and also to learn it and share it with other people. The way I learned Bowen Therapy, you do it face to face. So you basically have the client come in and lie down on the massage table and you do the physical moves on the body. I had an idea, this is going back 3 or 4 years ago. What if I was to do the Bowen Therapy on somebody without them coming in? And I thought, yeah, of course, it's possible because we can work on energies. And recently, I got to put it into practice. My son, who lives in Sydney, rang me up and said, Mum, I've got a problem with my pelvis. It's rotated, the hips are not level. I've got tightness in the gluteal muscles on one side, and it's radiating down the leg. Is there something that you could advise me to do, like particular stretches or strengthening exercises? And I thought, well, here's my opportunity to try and do the Bowen Therapy remotely. And he was open-minded enough for me to do it. So I brought in his energies into the room and I told his energies exactly what I was doing, where I was doing the Bowen moves. And at the end of the session, I sent his energies back to him and I let him know that I had done the Bowen Therapy treatment for him. And if he could possibly give me a call or send me a text message and give me some feedback as to his experience and whether he noticed any changes within the body. Anyway, I got a phone call 3 days later. He was saying, Mum, when you let me know that you had done the Bowen Therapy treatment on me, I wasn't sure whether it was a placebo effect or what, but I noticed the shift in my body. I felt that there had been realignment. And the following day, after I had done the Bowen treatment distantly, my son ran a 56 kilometre marathon and said the only thing that he felt was the soreness in the muscles from from running so far. Because of this realignment in the hips, he was able to perform the marathon and complete it. I can vouch for it that Bowen Therapy can be done distantly, and I think it's perfect. For instance, if somebody's in a lot of extreme pain or live somewhere where they can't get to see a Bowen therapist face to face, this can be done remotely. I'd like to share a personal story and my experience throughout the journey. Back in December 2013, I was diagnosed with melanoma, and I began to research and learn different ways how to heal the cancer. And I came across some remarkable people who helped me look in the right direction and find the right sort of treatment that I could have. Because I personally decided that I wasn't going to go down the allopathic medical system way of healing. I did have the one melanoma cut out, but unfortunately I had many, many more come up after that. And I thought, well, if you already know, when a melanoma is cut out, it usually leaves a very, very big scar. And I thought, I can't have all these scars all over my body, but then also not to 100% know that the cancer has been removed, because all you need to do is leave one cell behind and that cell will start migrating and spreading in the body. To cut a long story short, I tried a whole lot of different ways of healing, and which helped, but there wasn't a complete healing done with it. And I had one lady that I was seeing for psychotherapy counselling. She gave me the telephone number of a lady named Dorothea Sagi, who lives in Landsborough in Victoria. And she said to me, give this lady a call, pack your bags, go and stay with her. She's going to do some healing work for you. I rang up Dorothea and I said, a lady by the name of Pen has given me your number, and she said I need to come and see you. And she said, okay. So we booked in a whole week of healing sessions. At the time, I was actually quite sick. I had no energy, but I was determined to get down there. There's something within me. There was a knowing that I had to go and see her. I didn't absolutely know what she was doing, what she was going to do. I didn't ask her on the phone. She didn't explain to me what she was going to do. I just trusted. I'm going to pack my bags, get on the bus, travel down to Victoria and go and see her and see what happens. By that stage, and that was in August 2015, I was right on the doorstep of stage 4 melanoma. Just performing, everyday tasks would leave me absolutely tired. So in August 2015, I arrived at Dorothea's place. I was fortunate enough for her to invite me to watch her do a healing for another client. And I sat there and I watched her do this healing work. I was absolutely amazed, and I asked her at the end of the session, what were you doing? And she said, that's Reiki healing. And I said, wow, I've never seen it done like that before. She said, that's because I'm not following a manual. I'm just becoming the clear vessel or the facilitator of the energy, divine energy, coming through my body and the energy, the healing energy going to the person on the table. So after I saw that, I was very excited to have my healing session done. And the other really interesting thing, I'd never met Dorothea before. And when she picked me up from Ararat Station, which was a half an hour drive to her place, we were talking like we'd known each other for years. And that's what I expressed to her. I feel like I've known you for such a long time. I wonder what it is. Anyway, that day she did the healing session for me, and I felt absolutely relaxed and I felt very peaceful. And what she said to me at the end, she said, I know how we know each other. And I said, how? She said, I was told we were sisters in a past life. And she said, that's not all what I was told. You haven't come here to just heal the cancer. You are here because I've been told that I need to teach you how to do these Reiki healings so you can share them with other people. So I had the healings done, and it was after the third healing, so day 4, I woke up in the morning and I was sitting down just outside, and I noticed something different about myself. And I sat quietly in a meditative state to try and access what was so different about me on day 4. And then it came to me, and I had a knowing that the cancer, the melanoma, was healed after 3 sessions. So off I went for my 4th day Reiki healing, and I was so excited. I was bursting with joy, and my energy levels were so much better as well. And I said to her, guess what? The melanoma's been healed. And she said, yes, I know. So I continued on having some more healing sessions with her. She taught me how to work the way she works. On my last day with Dorothea, she invited me to do a healing with her on a client, and we worked really well together and noticed wonderful results with the client. I can't disclose any information, but that client that came in absolute despair walked out in a completely different manner, much more calm and rational. So that 1 week with Dorothea, having Reiki healings, also inspired me to do more energy work. It's amazing. I have a message to the world. We can see so much trauma in the world today. So many people with issues, post-traumatic stress disorder, people living in violence and experiencing a lot of issues. So if there's one thing that I would like to say is, if each and every one of us can start a journey of self-healing, even through the energy work, we're going to create a domino effect of healing all around and start healing all these traumas and live in a world that's a lot more harmonious and peaceful, with less abuse and less violence and less depression and anxiety. Once you start your self-healing journey, you'll be amazed and you'll be inspired to continue.